Well, good evening and welcome back. This is Plainsguard Company, Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition actual play live broadcast. I'm DMFSaint. I will be your Sherpa and GM tonight. Below me on the screen will be all of the players that are going through our campaign, as long as we remember how to actually play and stream this. Let's start off with introducing ourselves and our characters, starting with the wonderful Chum.
Hello, good evening. I am Chum, and I am playing Varys Selvarin, the High Elf Warlock, who recently went through it. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. So looking forward to it. Joe.
Hello, I'm Joe. I go by the Nation of Joe. I'm here tonight as Bree, the Warforged Rogue Fighter. And I'm always and never ready for whatever's next. So I'm excited for some action, maybe in reality. Who knows? Akechi.
Hey everyone, I'm Akechi. I play Delg, the Nature Cleric Fighter, and we're in my comfort zone, not knowing what to do. I like it. Next up is Cascade.
Hi, I'm Osarix Franco. I play Cascade Traylon, the Air Genasi Order of Scribes Wizard. I for as much as I write, you would think I would know more. Like, as many notes as I take, you'd think I'd have it a little bit more sorted. But every time I just look at it and I go, what do the numbers mean? And that's about it. Passing it over to a Furbolg, who's very good.
Well, hey, I'm Ash. I go by Ash and Rabbit here on the internet. I play Fettel the Furbolg Paladin. I don't know words anymore. We're all out of practice, if you can tell.
Apparently, I don't know what, like, kind of Genasi I am, so it's fine.
Tight. Oh, no.
Yeah, she said Air Genasi.
That's okay.
It's water. Sarah is an Air Genasi. Cascade's a water Genasi.
Did you just call yourself an airhead?
Yes. I'm an airbender for real. Air science all day.
Go ahead, Saint.
Hey, that's back around to me. We're going to try a little something new and different with our beginning of our sessions. I have been obviously watching our new campaign fragments on Tuesdays at 2:30. You should too. And I really love the way that that Harrison starts his sessions off. So I'm going to ask the players who would like to recap what happened during last session for inspiration. This will be a reroll of any D20 during the session. You can keep it between sessions.
I would like to vote that Chum does the recap, because it was pretty well centered around Varys.
Kind of figured.
Not to put you on the spot, but
I was left alone during the breaks. It was very
so sorry. It's so sad. Just like,
You weren't left alone. You were just excluded. We were there.
yeah, we could
That's
hear.
even worse. You were excluded. You stay out of here. Okay, so last session was not necessarily the culmination, but a large chunk of the path that Varys has chosen to embark upon. Mainly took place in a dream state. Induced by hopefully his future patron, in order to attempt to solidify Varys' commitment to said path. So the dream involved various interactions, some frustrating, some cathartic, and a lot was revealed about Varys' past and his motivations, initially for revenge, but now on sort of a path towards redemption, by stopping that vengeful path and kind of letting go of his hate, to use the Star Wars reference. So, yeah, various dream interactions centered on Hope and Delg mainly, and Rognus. Just the throwbacks to the original, sort of party. And
wow, you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave him out. You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave Zook out.
Oh, sorry, Zook.
He
Yes,
really hates
Zook.
Zook, so I mean, I
dare.
expected it.
So, he is more of a side player, not really like a main character. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that was about it. It was good, but very kind of emotional and set Varys on his future path.
There are two things that I would like you to add to the story, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I would love for you to touch on. Actually, no. I'd like you to touch on three things, because I think they were all important moments. The carving of the stones with Delg, and the bench, and
Okay.
the chapel of Castle Ravenloft.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I know the bench was after the castle jump. Was the
Block was
the
first.
wood? It was first. Okay, so to me that sort of signified the changing of the guard, kind of, or the beginning of it anyway. So that a little bit of a reveal of who Varys is actually in bed with right now.
Oh, who's that?
Some dark spider-looking thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's, the blocks started off as, there were a bunch of spider-looking icons. Obviously, a very dark entity, but in the end, Varys wants it to be the sunlight that guides him. So, put to the test in the chapel in Castle Ravenloft, Varys had to decide if he was ready to let go of everything and basically take a leap of faith, which he did, and pretty much without hesitation. And the result of that, falling into the lake at Hope's home, and the bench, which we had seen before somewhere, with writing that said "For Hope," and Varys ended up actually being the one that carved that into the bench. Yeah, got to see Hope again, even if it was just a dream, and that made Varys extremely happy. So,
And a happy Hope too.
yeah, yes,
I was unprepared for Ash to bring Happy Hope out.
not a
sorry.
Hope burdened by all of the trials of Barovia that she's been through, but it's sort of like if Varys knew Hope before she came to Barovia, I think. So,
Yeah. Hey, I think going through that again deserves inspiration, so please mark that and remember you have it. The other thing, since it's been a hot minute, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Again, for inspiration, who'd like to recap what your current goals and pathways are that are leading out from this morning on? I have a hunch I know who's going to say. Speak up.
I mean, I have an idea, a few ideas.
Whoever wants to take it.
Okay. Well, Strahd's dead. And
Long live the Strahd. Oh, sorry.
Long live the Strahd, yes. Excuse me. So he's gone, and like gone, not regenerating, gone kind of thing. So the intent is to trap something else in a sarcophagi of amber in the Amber Temple in order to replace him, so something else can rule over the land of Barovia. We also got a letter from friends over in Kresk, actually in the Abbey of St. Markovia. That's where they're currently holed up. They said to come over so we could get some information and figure out what the hell is happening to them. Maybe try and help them a little bit. We also got some fun Taroka card readings from a very unlike herself, Madame Eva, that I think we're all still trying to parse out a little bit. I feel like we've got them mostly nailed down, but we haven't really acted on most of them. Specifically one being like, let's go to the Vistani camp just south of Valaki. They might be there. They might actually be at the Abbey. Who freaking knows? But yeah, there's a lot going on with that. And you know, get out, go away, get away from here because it's all crumbling and falling apart. Also, hey y'all, we spent a good amount of time trying to parse out exactly why we're here. We gotta figure that out and actually act on it.
I think that about sums it up. Yeah. I don't think you missed anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Except I will reiterate that it was Tan on behalf of Ori that sent you
Yes. Thank you.
here. And it is I think you guys have a pretty good idea why you're here, but not why they sent you here this time.
Right.
So, I think that brings us caught up to the morning at the Blue Water Inn. The letter that you had received previously from the Mardikovs said a number of things, which you've taken to heart pretty quickly, too, and without question. The people of Barovia, as you said, are all taking shelter in the Abbey of St. Markovia. They told you that magical communication is not safe. That there are people listening. And, in fact, not to trust any magic at all. They also told you that some among your party are actually attracting the things that you've been coming in contact with, like a beacon. They also told you that the vampires are suddenly growing in strength and number, and are now able to move about during the day. They are still stuck in their habits, though, and they still keep to a mostly nocturnal cycle. So it's been recommended to you that you wake up at sunrise and make the most of the daylight that you have. Danica also mentioned in a postscript to this letter for you to undo the magic that affixed the beat to the shelf and take it with you, because she was tired of it being there. You took shelter for the night in the Blue Water Inn, had your evening night's sleep. Varys had the dream. And we rejoin you all after the dream as you all wake up early in the morning, ready to set out for travel. Cascade no longer missing as she was in Varys' dream, asking for just a few more minutes. Delg handing Varys an empty, uncarved block of stone for seemingly no reason. Day is yours, fam. What would you like to do?
Delg was heading over to the door to start unbarricading.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of time, but...
Do you need assistance with that, Doug?
If you want, if you got nothing else you're doing, we need to get going to the temple.
Kind of stuck in a room with a bunch of people that are supposedly friendlies. Need to get out of here, so, yep. Here to help.
Delg for the most part, seems to trust Fettle, but he's still gonna keep an eye, because he's always unsure.
Fair. That leaves Cascade, Bree, and Varys.
Yeah, Varys would just want to be on the way, so I will chip in and help remove the barricade as well.
Oh, thanks. This is going to go a lot faster with 3 people. Looks over at Bree and Cascade.
Cascade will kind of be at the table, like where she asked for 5 more minutes, and you'll see her sitting up and rubbing her temples, as she seems to have a headache of sorts. Before she gets up and goes behind the bar to like find like bottled water or something, and drinks that profusely.
Bree, what's going on with you?
I think she would help with the unloading. Try and make that as quick as possible.
It does not take long with most everyone's help, as everyone starts pitching in, one after another, and the doorway is removed clear of all the debris you had stacked up against it. Opening the door to look outside, I'm assuming you would do that after getting it clear. The streets look empty as they did before. Still no signs of life, no signs of anyone looking through windows at you. Still, the day is yours. Where are you heading? What are you doing? If I recall, your things are still in the barn.
Yeah, that's where I'd be heading to get the horses ready, and we all agreed last that we were going to go to the temple.
I'll walk out with Delg and on our way to the stables. I'll ask him, what made you give me this, holding the stone?
Without hesitation, Doug will just keep walking to the barn and says, "You asked me for it."
I did?
He'll like stop for a second, look at him kind of oddly, and nod his head and continue to the barn.
I'm following. Was this in a dream by any chance that I asked you?
I don't think so.
I don't remember that. What were we doing? How did this come up?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm just too focused on finishing what we came here for. I feel like that's kind of more important than a piece of stone.
Perhaps. I mean, we can work and talk at the same time.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't remember. I just remember you asking for it, and I told you I'd get it for you when I got a chance.
Okay. Will you help me shape it?
What do you want?
I mean, not right now, but when the time comes, will you help me shape it?
Del will pause for a second and then reach into his pack and pull out his mason's tools and hand them to Varys. and then go back to getting the horses ready.
Okay.
Just the hammer and chisel part of the mason tools.
Right.
You want to share your whole tools with him?
No,
Okay.
I might need them. He only needs those.
I get his backup chisel and hammer.
His like old starter set.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't give him that because that would have been given to me by my father, and I wouldn't give him away.
Too bad, so sad, I guess.
Fair enough.
You get the good set, you know.
So, let me check in for a second here. My understanding was that you were heading out to the Amber Temple, but that you were stopping someplace first. Is that still the case?
We were talking about it.
We need to stop at the Dusk Elves, the
Well,
village close to the south.
Can
It shouldn't cost us more than a few hours.
Can we not send a flying little buddy to go check to make sure that people are even there rather than going out of our way while we get stuff ready?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, the camp isn't that far away from town.
Is it less than a quarter of a mile?
I think so. We're gonna say it's close enough.
Okay. Well, then I'll send Mistral with instructions to fly over there and ensure that the camp is, or at least the Dusk Elves' houses, or the particular house that we know inhabits the person we're looking for.
Do you know that?
I thought we did. Maybe not.
You know of a desk elf that we talked to, but
Anyway, we'll go back to the more general instructions to just go and see if there are people there.
So the first thing that Mistral kind of reports back to you is that there are no wagons or horses. If you remember before, there was the giant tent on the top of the hill, and surrounding it were the wagons and the horses, and there was the sound of revelry and smell of wine, and none of that's there. The tent remains, and the finely crafted houses that are kind of inside into the side of the hill a little bit, they remain. And Mistral, if Mistral would fly a little bit close to the tent, would see that like it's open and flapping in the breeze, but there doesn't seem to be anybody inside. There is a single sign of life. One of the houses has smoke coming out of the chimney, as if the hearth inside is lit.
Okay. It does look like at least one house is occupied. So I think it's worth taking a small detour down there to see what we can learn.
Dog will nod. That's fine. Like you said, it's not out of the way. Or only a little out of the way.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. Yes, so that will be our first stop.
So I'll ask now, are there any conversations that you would have while you're getting the wagon situated? Are there any moments you'd like to have on the way to the camp, or do you want to cut right to the camp?
I would say Cascade is quieter than normal. I think just being in Barovia and experiencing some of the stuff that we've experienced up to now has her a little on edge. I think she would be more subdued.
Okay.
I think Fettel would try and look for openings in conversation, like someone looking his way as if to perhaps start a sentence or a statement towards him and go from that, but otherwise he recognizes that his place is currently to assist in any way needed, not necessarily be a thorn in their sides.
Which leaves us with Bree, I believe, since we've already established what Delg and Varys are doing.
Now, Bree's doing her sentinel mode thing. She's keeping an eye out while everyone else is packing up, getting ready to go. And along the way, she'll just keep an eye out, make sure everyone's safe as possible.
Okay. Why don't you give me a perception check for that then?
Eight.
There's something off. You're not quite sure what it is. It's almost like a restlessness that kind of like you get before like a big vacation or like a big trip somewhere, where you're like trying to make sure that everything's prepared to go out and you're not forgetting anything. You know, you've got your luggage, you've got your phone, you've got your keys, all that stuff. It's kind of like that restless anxiety feeling, but it doesn't seem to be connected to anything, just restlessness. Heading out of town then with your how many horses, how many carts this time?
I think we just have the one, right?
Yeah.
We sent those stuff with everybody
Two
else.
horses and one cart.
Heading out of town toward the west, taking the dirt road that goes south toward the Vistani camp. You find it as Mistral reported, empty and barren. It seems like it was left long ago, but there is that one house on the south side of the hill that seems to have life in it still, as smoke kind of billows up into the air, and there's a nice plume that's just dissipating about 100 yards in the sky.
Remind me what we're doing here again.
Where is that thing? I just had it open. The Seer. We're looking for a dusk elf who has suffered a great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. See if we can get some aid in our task here.
Okay.
Do we anticipate that you will know this individual?
Me?
I'm not sure.
No. No.
The ones that have been here before.
I'm not sure. We did. No, maybe not. I'm not sure. I will go up to the door and knock.
As you go to wrap your hand on the door, the first strike of your hand, the door kind of slowly opens just a little bit. Not enough to see what's inside, but enough to let you know that the door was not only unlocked, but open already.
I'll kind of lean into the opening and say, hello? Is anyone home?
You hear no response. However, as you kind of like tilt your head a little bit, like we all do when you're trying to hear something like it might not be there, you hear gentle snoring.
Then I will knock a little louder. And then a lot louder. Like holding the door in place so it doesn't go open any further.
You continue hearing snoring.
I'll push the door open.
Inside this house, you see a very cozy room. There's a hearth to the right that has a fire in it. It's there, probably not high enough to be really doing much of anything. You notice that there's a grate above it, kind of like a stand, and on that there appears to be a pot of some sort that's on there, cooking slowly. You see a number of chairs around a long table. It's probably a dining room table. The table itself is very, very well made. However, you notice that it's a little dusty, though it appears from kind of the top of it and the finish that it has been used a lot, as if this was a common and frequent place for people to sit down and have dinner at one point, whether it's now or soon or long ago, you're not sure. In the chair facing the door, there sits a man who appears to be breathing quite slowly and snoring as he sleeps, with his hood kind of up and covering his eyes and face a little bit, and his hands are kind of clenched together in front of him. He seems quite peaceful.
Okay. So Varys, using his awakened mind feature, telepathically speak to any creature I can see within 30 feet of me. I'm going to gently telepathically say to him, I need you to wake up now.
I've got visitors.
Yes.
Are you alone?
No, I have some friends with me.
He kind of looks around, waiting for you to open the door to show them more.
Yeah, I'll push the door all the way open.
Fettle like leans down to wave.
Yes, I've been waiting. Please come in. I would stand up to greet you, but my legs don't work like they used to.
It's quite all right. Please.
Is everyone coming
Cascade
in?
will,
Sitting down?
yeah,
Absolutely,
Cascade
yeah.
will walk in and drift kind of over to the corner, watching the man very carefully. She'll probably try to look into the corners of the room, trying to suss out if there is anything, I don't know, lurking.
Sure. Make an investigation check since you're looking for something specific.
That's an 18 plus 4.
You know what? You don't see anything kind of lurking in the shadows. There's a curtain that's kind of hiding a back area that's about halfway open. And, obviously being a little suspicious, you maneuver yourself to get a good enough glimpse to feel confident there's nobody hiding behind the curtain around the corner. But with a roll like that, you do notice a couple things extra. You notice that in front of him there seems to be a teapot and a little ceramic mug. And you see that the pot that the pan or the pot that is on the hearth is likely what he was making his tea in, or boiling water in. And as you kind of glance into the pot, there's barely any water in it, as if he has set the water to boil and then completely forgot it was there. I was going to make tea for myself. You're more than welcome to help yourself to a cup, and I can pour you some when it's done steeping. The water should be done at any moment now.
Cascade's going to look up at the party kind of as she's looking in. I believe the water is more than done.
Wonderful. Would you mind pouring it into the teapot? I would stand, but I'm very weak.
Is the water completely gone?
It's barely there. Had you been 2 hours later, it probably would have set the pan on fire.
Okay. Yeah. Cascade's gonna go ahead and cast Create Water over this to kind of make enough to give us tea should we desire in there. Because she doesn't want to go find a well or anything, but just enough to fill that.
Who needs a well?
You got a
Not
water.
Cascade.
Or Akechi, or Delg.
That's true.
Yeah.
Delg too.
All you need is a zombie to provoke them.
Yeah.
For
Sir,
2 dozen.
my name is Varys. This is Fettle, Cascade, Delg, and Bree. Might we know your name?
My name is Kasimir. And as he says that, he kind of lifts the hood off of his head for the first time. You notice that he has a somewhat similar complexion to you, Varys, as far as like facial structure. His skin is slightly more tan than yours, like almost more than seems natural, like just a touch. But the most like striking quality about him, despite the fact that you are fairly certain he is an elf of some sort, is that he has no ears.
Okay.
I'm Kasimir. I believe I am the last Dusk Elf. I don't think I've said that out loud yet.
How recent has this change occurred?
Oh, it's been happening for a very long time, but I believe I became the last. I actually don't know how long ago. Time's funny like that, I guess.
So does that mean that you're aware of how Barovia works?
I'm aware that Barovia is falling apart. I've been
Fair enough.
around for a very, very long time.
Well, that is why we are here. We believe you might be able to help us. So we're trying to stop what is happening here. And we were told, in a manner of speaking, that you might have some information that might be helpful to us, or you may be able to help us in some way.
Can I tell you a secret, Varys?
Sure.
Someone told me the same thing.
Hey, you would be able to help yourself?
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Forgive my friend.
You are forgiven, Delg.
My first question is, who told you this?
That, it was, Yes, the mind really does go as you get older. I don't recall. It's
Okay, that's okay.
gone.
Do you know what aid you will be able to provide us?
Doug will scoff a little bit. And he'll nudge Varys and speak up what he meant as what aid we could provide you.
Thank you, Delgin.
I am not in need of aid. My time is almost over. It is just a matter of waiting now. I appreciate the thought and the effort, but no, I am to help you, I was told. I've been here for a very, very long time, and seemingly inextricably linked to the events here. I am one of the few who remembers each time. I believe the help I can provide is in the fact that I've been here for 700 years.
Wow.
That is
Well,
a very
then-
long time to be aware
Hmm.
and stuck.
A lot of books I got to read. And he kind of like taps his lap, and you can see that there's a like leather-bound book in his lap.
Does it have a title?
It appears to have a plain cover. Good question, though.
I mean, my friend was right. Our information indicated that we would have to help you in some way as well. But if you can't think of how,
I think it will come to you at some point.
Is the water boiling yet?
I am unaware of the time it takes water to boil at this altitude, so we'll say yes.
Okay.
wait, are you watching the pot? Because that
No.
never boils.
No, of course not. Of course
Okay.
not.
All right, just checking.
Cascade would then politely, like if the teapot nearby would ask, "May I?" And set herself to putting some of the water in the teapot.
You made tea. How nice of you. Did you have trouble finding the pot or the kettle?
No. Thank you, though.
Wonderful.
Are there any more books around in his booth?
There does seem to be a small bookcase looking through the curtain into the back room, where you can also see a bed. It's clearly like a bedroom of some kind. Before we move any farther forward, can anyone who's proficient in medicine please make me a medicine check?
Absolutely. Well, that's a 15.
13. Forgot I had my diary next to me.
No one else is proficient in medicine, right?
Nope.
Cool. So, Delg and Fettel, there's clearly something about his movement and behavior that's a little concerning from a medical perspective. Like, he's a little forgetful and, like, there's a little tremor to his hands and everything. Fettel, you also have noticed that there is a pretty familiar scent in the air that you've experienced before around those who are terminally ill and dying. And it's enough for you to be conclusive that he is not long for this world.
While this is happening, the stuff that's like the tea is made of, like, does he have like loose leaf and stuff like that? Cascade's gonna kind of give it a gander just to make sure
Yeah.
that it's not like is it recognizable as like standard tea stuff?
Well, it's not tea as you would have expected it to be from where you come from. Like, you're expecting tea, like, dried tea leaves. Like, we would experience tea, like, green tea or, Earl Grey or something like that.
Yeah.
This appears to be some sort of herbal medicinal blend of ingredients. You could probably pick out that there's mint, cilantro in there, something that resembles garlic.
Okay.
Some sort of citrus fruit that probably is like a lemon or a lime or something like that.
Okay.
It's like a hot water herbal remedy kind of thing for, like, to make you feel warm and comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, Cascade would do her best to then like steep that again, kind of taking his asking respectfully because he had a cup in front of him, taking some of that, and would make Kasimir a cup of this tea.
He is very grateful. He motions to over on the hearth where there are a number of other mugs hanging. If you'd like some for yourself, feel free. I have not much need for it anymore now that the others are gone.
Cascade will kind of, with that done, look over at the rest of the party. We need the information that we are here for, yes? How to repair what is broken?
Yes. Kasimir, I hate to be blunt. Actually, I don't. That's kind of how I am.
That's why you're here, so...
Yes. What do you have to tell us?
Are you asking for the entire story of all 600 years I've been alive here?
No, just the part that relates to why we're here and what assistance can you be to us to repair the damage that has been done.
Oh. Well, I don't know why you're here.
Okay.
However, I know of the damage that's been done. Varys, can you roll a plain
Yes.
D20 for me, please?
Okay. 15.
Yes, the things that tether the land here, they're gone. Without someone to anchor, this place will continue crumbling. We are located in a very interesting place within the demi-planes. There's a great tear in the middle. It is where the mists itself come from. We are one of the first. I believe we are the first to be trapped here, and as such it is vital that this place remains stable. And as you can see, it's not. So putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5, I believe resetting but damage has been done would go a long way toward fixing things.
Okay.
Do you know how that might be done?
Cascade, please roll a 1d20 for me.
That is a 9.
Well, I can assume that if the things are no longer here, holding the tethers in place, you would need to bring them back, rebind them to their shackles, and I believe someone would also need to be put in charge. Now that Strahd is dead, there is no Dark Lord. It's nothing to feed the evil that exists here. My hunch is that you will have to put back together the pieces that are broken and restore it back to the way that it was. You know, like a reverse Minotaur in a ceramic shop.
Yes.
How would you get someone to replace Strahd and be bound here?
Dog, please roll a 1d20 for me.
14.
Well, I suppose if you could find Strahd and ask him politely, he might acquiesce to your request.
It's,
Someone else that has a desire to be here, or delusions of grandeur maybe, would be helpful in this endeavor. You could also, it's possible you could tie something very powerful to that anchor, and you could perhaps perform double duty, so to speak.
I believe I have an idea for that, Delg.
Oh, you do?
in your 600 to 700 years, do you happen to create a journal of any sort, recording events? And you said you did a lot of reading. Did you do a lot of writing?
Not much. Not much writing at all. I've found that not much changed from day to day. A lot of that time has been spent in this home, in this field. I don't care to write much on my own except for my old friend here. And he pats the book on his leg again. And Delg, can you please roll a 1d20?
15.
Can I be of assistance to anyone else? If not, I'm happy to go back to sleep.
I mean, I'd love to read your book.
Oh, yes, of course. And he sets the book on the table.
I go to take the book and see if there's anything written in it.
Make an Arcana check.
I can assist you with that if you show me the book.
I mean, the book's on the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you can glance at a page, I'll let the check happen.
Yeah,
Anybody
a
wants to
Cascade
make
would
it.
also be very interested in this book.
Cascade, you can make the
18.
check at advantage.
I would.
Oh, dip.
22.
Bears?
Sorry? I was helping Delg, so he could.
Doug, did you roll at advantage or?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So yeah, Delg, you recognize this from your time as a married man, doting over your ex-wife, Cascade. You definitely recognize some of the iconography as arcane in nature. This is a spell book.
Ooh. Ash the player just knows what this is.
Yeah, Cascade would kind of like raise a brow. Am I able to recognize any of the spells in it?
What was your roll again?
22.
Yeah, you can. Do me a favor, just to like for this time. Can you roll 1d12 for me?
Well, that's a 3.
One of the pages you open to, you have a hunch is a hold person spell. I can let you roll one more time if you want.
Yeah. A 10.
You're not sure, but you're pretty certain that Delg would like this one. It's Wall of Stone.
Cascade would turn to Kasimir. Has this book been of use to you?
Roll a 1d20, please.
2.
I had hoped it would, yes. There was a time when I sorry. My head. There was a time when I wanted to travel. There was a time when I wanted to right a wrong. And I found that I was never brave enough to undertake the journey.
What wrong is this? If you don't mind me asking.
As they're talking, Doug would sit down and like flip through the pages of the book and just kind of keep looking as he's listening to his answers.
Sure. So I'll go through that first. You recognize most of them, or at least elements of them that you can kind of put together what it is with the roll that you made. There is one spell in particular that is completely foreign to you. You have no idea what it is. I'll post the list in the chat. The wrong was, it was no, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but my sister, my one regret was that I was never able to make the journey south into the mountains and the temple. I was obsessed with that place. There was someone, I can't remember who, told me that there was a library in there that had some of the information that I wanted. I wanted to know how to bring her back. My sister,
So she's gone?
My sister has been dead a very long time.
I'm so sorry.
Me too. If you happen to go to Castle Ravenloft, would you pay respects at her grave?
If we
Of
find her,
course.
we're there. Yes.
And if you happen to go to the Ember Temple first, I wouldn't be opposed to you bringing her back, even if I'm not here to welcome her home.
Kasimir, one last question. Would the abbot be of any help to us in our task? I'm going to ask Del to check on him.
Is he still alive?
He's still breathing.
Okay.
Cascade's gonna kind of, like, as he drifts to sleep, she'll kind of look up. This is a person who is not well. If we have anything else we need to know, we should ask quickly.
Yes, I can tell you anything you want to know about Barovia. Or what's happening.
Is Argynvost still alive?
Argynvost. That's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. Please roll a 1d20.
12. 12.
Was he? Oh, he was the one who thought he could stand up to the devil's strahd himself. No, I'm afraid he's been dead quite some time. His bones, I believe, are currently lining the walls of a room somewhere in Castle Ravenloft.
Grotesque.
I think I remember that.
You know what? I was just struck with a memory. I've noticed the mists have encroached a bit more than they normally do. I wonder if the borders have changed. Do you think the passage south is open again?
I didn't know there was a passage south.
There hasn't been for a long time.
Do you know how to get out of Barovia?
There was a station that was there. People came in through. I don't know if they ever left. It was called Outlander Station. You know, in my younger days, I traveled in the south a lot, actually.
Could you tell us how to get to there?
I'm sorry, where?
The passage out of Barovia south.
It is somewhere between. It is on the Crimson Road. Somewhere between Seidenberg and Teufeldorf. I don't remember where. It's a very small station along the road.
I don't do I recall those at all last time we were here? Any of those names?
Without a roll, I can tell you that from the last time you were here, you do not recall those names.
Okay. How about the Crimson Road?
From the last time you were here without a roll, you do not recall that name.
Okay.
Kasimir, would the... Is he sleeping again?
If you kind of look down a little bit, his eyes are like half closed. Actually, you have a pretty high passive perception, right?
18?
Yeah. Looking to see if he's sleeping again, you do notice that his breathing is a little more shallow than it was before.
I'll touch him on the shoulder and see if I can rouse him and ask again.
Yes.
Do we need the abbot?
For what?
For what we need to do.
Please roll a 1d20.
Okay. That's a 1.
I got a luck blade.
It's a 15.
Better than 1.
It's way better than a 1.
I believe the abbot has finally seen the error in their ways. were so sure that Strahd's happiness was the key to it all. And once Strahd fell and the mists didn't go away, I think he lost faith for a moment. I don't think that he can help you, but perhaps he could be a resource.
Out of curiosity, do you remember seeing us here at the Vistani tent before? The last time we were here?
At the tent, yes. I had thought we would have this conversation then. A lot has happened since then, though. A lot.
Can I save this guy at all?
Can you what?
Save him.
Make a medicine check.
$21.
I mean, you can try.
I'm gonna walk up to him and place my hand on his shoulder and cast life transference. Just do this right here. Maybe.
Oh.
Life transference. Doing 24 damage to me and healing him for 48. Hopefully.
Thank you. That feels wonderful. You didn't have to do that.
I just wanted to make sure you can enjoy your tea.
I remember them telling me that you were one of the good ones. He takes a sip of his tea.
I'll turn around and look at the rest and nod my head, and I will leave the hut.
Are you taking the book with you?
Yeah, I have the book. I totally, I legit, honestly, I forgot that I had it. I was hanging on to it, looking at it.
Yeah,
I came
totally
up, killed
fine.
him, and turned around and I started walking out the hut.
Yeah, totally fine. Cascade's not going to try and stop you or anything. She will turn to Kasimir, and she'll do, who's sitting, she'll get down and kind of crouch and gently place one of her hands on the armchair and look up at Kasimir. I know that we've only just met, but I believe the book that you have in your possession would be very helpful to our cause. Is it all right with you if I take it and learn from it?
Please make a 1d20 roll.
The 7.
As you look in his eyes and say that, you hear or you see a sadness and almost a sense of remorse. I believe the time for me to use it has passed. I almost forgot. Wouldn't that have been tragic? Forgetting the one thing that I was supposed to tell you.
Fortunate that you remembered now.
Did you know? And he kind of gently places his hands on yours, and you can tell that they're like ice cold with barely any circulation left. Did you know that Strahd has a brother?
Has or had?
It's long past now. So I suppose had.
Yes, we did know that.
Why do you tell us this?
Yes, what about him?
How do you know of him?
Because I have this, and I pull out the Tome of Strahd out of my bag.
I'd be surprised if he was written about in Strahd's journal. Strahd never cared for him much.
He was a younger brother, yes?
One of.
His name?
So he had more than one?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Strahd was the eldest, and the youngest was Sergei.
Sergei, yes.
But they had a middle brother.
Did not know that. What was his name?
His name was... And Cascade, he stops in the middle of saying that and is looking at you with his eyes open, and there seems to be a life that is no longer there. I would like everyone, except for Delg, because Delg is not inside, to roll 1d20 for me and add your religion modifier.
Oh my.
That's a dirty 20.
Religion. I got a 4.
25 total.
Ooh.
Great.
5.
All these went as expected.
He takes in one breath. His brother's name was Sturm. And as he says that, his head falls limp.
What was his name?
Bree, are you okay?
Stir. Okay.
Lord Sturm von Zarevich, middle child of King Barav von Zarevich and Queen Ravinia von Royan, brother to Strahd and Sergei, head of household for the von Zarevich family, sole survivor of the von Zarevich line following the Castle Ravenloft wedding massacre, and the common ancestor of all living von Zareviches, married Giselle Farona, and sired one son, Todd von Zarevich.
Does this happen often with her?
No, but when it does, it's usually important.
Hey, Delk.
Yeah.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw and a wisdom saving throw, please?
What?
Easy. All right. We're gonna do Dex first. That's 6 and 2, so 8.
Okay.
Wisdom. 11 and 12 for 23.
Doug, as you take a step outside and are waiting for everyone else to finish and absentmindedly realize you have the book in your hand, a couple of things happen simultaneously. And the rest of you, this kind of happens concurrently with Bree finishing this seemingly forced speech. There is a bright light outside. Brighter than you have seen. Brilliant and white. And there is a loud clap. Delg, you feel static in the air. Familiar feeling at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you also hear, Delg solely, a screech. A single cry out of pain from somewhere near. As the light fades, you see that there is a tear in the air just outside the cottage, and a man is stepping through it. And that's where we're going to take our first break.
Feelings.
We rejoin as our heroes have watched the old dusk elf, the last of his kind, breathe his last breath and pass away, kind of in Cascade's arms. And outside, Delg sees a blinding flash of light, a tear in the air, and a person stepping through. Concurrently with that, here's a screech, like a cry of pain. The rest of you see this bright light from the doorway. For those of you inside first, how would you react to the bright light from the doorway?
I would go to the doorway and look out.
Yeah, I think Cascade was focused on Kasimir, so like it would have been kind of a periphery thing. As she was trying to like catch his last words. I think she'd turn and look at the door, and just like not call out, but just state like Delg, understanding that he was outside.
Fettel and Bree. Do you step into the light, Carol Ann?
I think Fettel would initially like shield his eyes from the light, but then see everyone else move out there and do the same.
Bree is, I guess, still kind of coming around from this subroutine that activated, so she'll be right out, but
Momentary
she would be a
threats.
little bit delayed.
Yeah. Okay. So then, Delg, we'll say you're the first to really be able to see through the light and put together what's going on, followed by Varys next, and then Cascade. I think in that order is who would see this person coming out of the tear in the seemingly just middle of nowhere. The man you see has a very masculine and chiseled face, and it is framed on both sides by shoulder-length golden blonde hair that is held back by a band that is around his forehead. His clothing is form-fitting and brilliantly white with very ornate gold filigree, decorative along the seams and edges. And those of you who are inside Varys, you would come face to face with him. But those of you behind Varys would notice that as he steps through the threshold of this home, the hearth suddenly grows a little bit brighter, as do the candles that are inside, as if feeding off of the person that has just entered. Briefly, for a moment, he stops at you, Varys, and stares. And then looks past you at Kasimir. And looking at his kind of lifeless body over your shoulder, he pauses and sighs. Kasimir Velikov, last of the Dusk Elves and the end of their race. He seems lost in thought.
I would think to myself, but towards Wayfinder. 3 thoughts, like almost consecutive. Morning Lord, Dorian, and where's that scream coming from?
In reverse order. The roof. The sword swings wildly backwards along a path that you would recognize would take you to the Amber Temple. And then answering the first question toward the front door of the house.
Okay. I guess so. He like walked right past me into the house then, or I guess I would follow back in.
He is face to face with Varys, looking over his shoulder, lost in thought, staring at Kasimir.
Are you here to take him away from here?
He glances back toward you. It's time for him to go home. Some things are important enough to do yourself.
I bow my head and step aside.
He now is staring at Kasimir without looking over your shoulder. He hasn't quite moved yet. He's mostly just taking the scene in.
Cascade's going to stand from where she was kind of crouched in front of the chair and not put herself in between this individual, but kind of stand off to the side. Because she didn't know who the heck this is. Do you mean this man harm?
No. I'm here to take him home.
Where is that, if not here?
He glances over at Varys briefly. I don't know that you will ever find this. You will ever experience where he's going, but I assure you, he will not be harmed. His family is waiting for him.
And who are you?
He stares at you, expressionless.
I believe he's the Morning Lord.
He turns and stares at Delg, also expressionless.
I pull the stone brick out that Dell gave me and hold it out and say, "Would you touch this for me?"
He looks briefly at you, Varys, and then down at the block, and back to you. What you seek requires sacrifice. Perhaps more than you are capable of making. I hope you are able to make the leap at the end of your path. And if not, I fear for us all. Mortals and gods alike.
I raise my gaze just a bit. I'm not gonna look him in the eyes, but I have no doubts about what I want.
He briefly lifts his hand and places it on the stone for just a second or two, and then turns around towards the door to Delg. Thank you, Delg Plainsguard. The shrine is as beautiful as I would ever have hoped it would be.
I didn't do it alone.
He looks around and says, I know. It did not go unnoticed what you all did, and did not have to do.
I would like to note that Fettle is not looking this being in the eye or really at all. He's kind of stepped back away from trying to exit the building. Just has his head down and his hands clasped before him, just speechless.
After a couple moments of that silence, he turns back toward Kasimir and crosses over to him very elegantly, moving across the room, sure of himself and his gait, and reaches down and grasps Kasimir's hand and lifts him up out of the chair. And what you see is not him lifting a body. It's as if Kasimir splits into two. And you watch an identical Kasimir stand effortlessly. And notice that kind of the shaky movements that he had before seem to all be washed away. And because it was as significant as it was before, you would all also notice immediately that his ears are back. And if you didn't notice it on your own, he immediately puts his hands up and feels and smiles. And he looks at each one of you in turn. And hand in hand, the man and Kasimir begin walking towards the door.
As Mornor gets closer to the door, and I'd like to address him. Mornor, sir, is it at all possible to receive a trinket from you, please? Kind of like, and he reaches in his bag and pulls out a horse figurine.
What is it you'd like?
Something from you. It don't matter.
He smiles and then continues walking towards the portal.
I'll put the horse figurine back.
As he steps through, the brightness that is spread out over the hilltop fades, and the static that's in the air dissipates, and you find yourself alone. Some of you standing inside, some of you standing at the doorway of Kasimir's hut. And you notice that the fire in the hearth is out.
Fettle just kind of crumbles to the floor, grasping his holy symbol, and nervously looks around. Is this a frequent occurrence for you all?
Absolutely not. It is as wondrous for us as it is for you.
Cascade raises an eyebrow at that, just kind of skeptically.
I mean, first time for him. But
She
honestly-
tilts her head. Yeah.
honestly, gods have been in and out a decent amount, it seems like.
I wouldn't worry too much, Fettle. Not all of us are so fortunate to be chosen. Most of the time, they come in, they do what they wish, and they leave.
Okay. That, to be honest, sounds like the gods. Okay. I'm never gonna get used to that if that ever happens again. Okay. Okay, and he'll just kind of shake himself off and stand up and kind of brush himself off a little bit. Is Kasimir's body still there?
Mm-hmm.
He will immediately go over towards it and grab him and take him outside to find a nice place to inter him as well.
As you pass by Delg with Kasimir's body, Delg, in an interesting moment of coincidence, perhaps, as the body is passing, Fettle has to shift the body on their shoulder a bit, and a necklace pops out from around his neck, and you can see at the end of it that it is the symbol of the Morning Lord. And it seems to glint. This happens right in front of you.
It's a dead man's necklace, though. I'd follow her out because I think I know what Fettle's about to do. So I will assist and also take a look at the necklace once.
Can you make a religion check for me, please?
Will do.
At advantage.
Okay. 17 plus 6. That will be a 23.
I don't know, man. You asked for a trinket of the Morning Lord, and suddenly one pops out right in front of you.
Right. That's what I was thinking, but that's why I wanted to look at it while I help lay this man to rest.
It feels warm to the touch as you are out there situating the bodies.
Okay.
Or the body, sorry. What are Varys, Bree, and Cascade doing as Fettle and Delg begin escorting the... as Delg escorts the human beer that is Fettle outside.
Cascade would go look behind the curtain, knowing that there were books back there, to try and see if there are any other spell books or helpful information, as Kasimir had been here a long time.
Okay.
She's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna be, super searching, but just really quickly, one mage hand kind of tilt out and, hold up books as she's using her own to try and quickly sort through them.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Varys and Bree.
I will cast Detect Magic and have a look around.
I got a 14.
Casting Detect Magic. Yeah, I'm thinking that this would all have happened concurrently. You would have noticed nothing in the room. However, there was some sort of aura around Kasimir's hand that had a ring on it. And the necklace that popped out also had an aura with it as well. And with that investigation roll, honestly, he was into some really trashy fiction. Like, none of it's really meaningful. It seems like most of his more meaningful studies were either committed to memory or were in that one singular book.
Cascade, I feel like Cascade's kind of like, as she's looking through them, like one book in particular that maybe is like a little bit like spicier, you know, she would just back to the room, just smile and kind of lay a hand on the pages before snapping the book shut and slipping it back into the shelf. I mean, everybody needs something, you know.
Did you take the book?
No, she put it back on the shelf.
Okay. So to give you a little out of character what the book is. In a DM, that leaves Bree.
You know, as much as Bree's been a part of some of these things, she's also kind of with Fettle on this whole, like, why does this keep happening? It's less of a, like, does this happen a lot, to, wow, this seems to happen a lot. But she's going to be still, just kind of looking around and assessing dangers while everyone's, focused on some of this other crazy stuff. There might be a way for someone to come in and sneak attack us. So want to be prepared for that.
Make a perception check for me.
Yeah. Yikes. 9.
So with a 9 on your perception check, looking for danger, you are not able to hear in time to prevent the intelligence saving throw I need from the entire party.
Oh, fun.
Intelligence. Wow.
Plus 11. Here we go. That is a 25.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Ooh, a 20.
13.
You're muted.
Me? I didn't say anything.
Oh. Joe is. He's yelling at us.
What's Joe's? What's Bree's? No, Bree is muted.
Oh.
9.
Oh, sorry. I got a 9. I'm yelling and complaining because all my high bonus rolls are terrible right now.
Take it.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing golf, right?
As you are standing in the room, Bree, Varys, as you are kind of watching as the body goes by and picking up those pings, and Delg, as you are helping Fettle, just about to take on half the load yourself, there's this thrum, and the three of you, it's like you are instantly intoxicated and unable to really...
Is this a charm effect
focus.
by any chance?
It is not a charm effect.
Okay.
The rest of you feel this wave pass over you, and it kind of slows you for a second. It's almost like an EMP pulse that comes out.
Ooh.
It happens to affect Varys, Delg,
Bree?
and Bree.
Bree doesn't like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I need everyone, including the three of you, to roll for initiative. And we're not going to use the tracker. This is all theater of the mind.
Tight.
Oh,
Um,
come on.
That's a 9 for you, girl.
How many people would have been within 10 feet of me?
I mean, Delg, certainly.
Delg, definitely. Oh, yeah, because
I
I'm
rolled-
outside with Delg.
I rolled
Okay.
worse than you, Joe. Don't worry.
Delg, you get a +5 to your initiative.
But
So 16 plus 2 is 18, plus 5 is 23.
Sick.
Hang on one second. So 25 to 20.
25.
23.
Jesus. Okay.
Balance.
So 23, 25 for Delg. And
Delk has
then-
23.
Or sorry, 25 for Fettle.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then Delg. Neon Lights roleplay.
Lights.
Hey guys,
Oh. Hi.
something bad has happened.
We don't know what, but we're figuring it out just now. Oh dear.
20 to 15. Wow.
Nobody.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Okay. And that's 10 to 15.
Nope.
10 to 5.
9 for
9
Bree.
as well.
You guys can both decide who goes first every time.
Bree can go first.
Okay. And then Ferris, what was yours?
3.
And then
Pretty good.
is
That
Mistral
dice is in jail.
is Mistral out? First of all, second of all, within 30 feet of the building.
Yeah, she would have been with me, so she needs an intelligence saving
intelligence
throw. That's a 9.
Okay. So this affects her as well.
And I'll roll her initiative. 18.
Okay. Top of the order is Fettle.
Sick. Okay.
Fettle, you have noticed that Delg was starting to help, and you were probably like, "Oh, well, thank you," like, and starting to shift the weight, and then Delg just wasn't helping you anymore.
Ooh. Okay.
You did feel the pulse, though.
Can I tell what direction it was coming from? Or was it just kind of everywhere?
If you'd like to focus on trying to figure out where it came from, I would give you advantage on the roll, but it's going to take your action.
That's fair. I will do that.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you felt it, but like you're also trying to do something else. So advantage on the roll. Otherwise, I'd just tell you if you weren't doing something else.
Okay. Is this investigation or perception? What do you want to do?
This would be investigation. I kind of always lean towards if you're looking for something specific, it's investigation.
Totally fair. Okay. That is an 11.
An 11. General direction of the house.
Okay.
More specific, you cannot be. You have a bonus action and movement if you'd like it.
Okay. I'm outside, holding on to Kasimir. I'm gonna gently lay him down. Pull out my greatsword, and then just start walking back towards the house.
Okay. I mean, you're within 30 feet, so I mean, you can get to the house easily.
Okay, then I will do that.
Because it would have happened as you had just were about to hit 30 feet away from the house.
Okay.
That brings us to Delg. Delg?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically,
Yes.
you are incapacitated. Which just means you cannot take actions or reactions. You can still move. You can still resist. You can still roll saving throws. You just can't take actions or reactions.
So, that means I wouldn't be able to figure out what's going on with me?
Correct.
Well, let's see. I think, could I reach for the necklace?
Yeah. Interacting with an item is a free action.
So I think that'll be my first, knowing that something went wrong, seeing it kind of shimmer and have kind of a warmth feeling to it, kind of believing it was, I mean, it's being the symbol of the Morning Lord. I think that's what I'm going to aim for right now to see if that might be able to help me
Sure.
come to.
Okay. Are you going to move at all or
And-
just do that?
I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to just do my best to try to focus on trying to get better. Just kind of center myself, I guess. I don't know.
I will say, so at the end of your turn, at the end of anyone who is incapacited's turn, you can re-roll the save, the intelligence save.
Okay.
Because you are gripping the trinket of the Morning Lord that was just left for you, I'm giving you the roll at advantage.
Okay. 16.
16 is enough. You are able to kind of shake yourself awake, and the effects seem to drain from you.
Okay.
It's as if your sense of self got like detached for a second.
Okay.
Okay. That brings us to Mistral. Mistral is the same. Incapacitated, can't attack, can't react. However, can move. And repeats the save at the end of her turn.
Okay. So she will move by flying out the door and straight up as high as she can go. So she has 60 feet of movement.
I think it's 60, yeah.
Yeah, 60 feet of flying movement. So, and then make a save, which I believe is at 0 plus. All right. It's a 9. So
Still
no.
incapacitated. That brings us to Bree. Bree, you are also incapacitated. The EMP pulse did exactly what an EMP pulse would do to a Warforged, apparently.
Yeah, I think I just kind of maybe stumble a little bit past, like back a few feet to kind of catch myself, and I can't do anything, so
Okay.
that'll be it.
Please make the save again.
Intelligence, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Saving throw. I really need to stop using these dice. 11.
Unfortunately, not enough. Still incapacitated, unsure what's going on. Cascade, that brings us to you. Bree seems to be in a daze. Varys is standing in the doorway.
Cascade's going to yell out, where is it? Like, yelling, like, just towards everybody.
Can Fettle respond?
Yeah. So you made your save, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, you can. Anybody can respond. It's not an action to talk.
Okay. It's somewhere in the house.
I do find it. Cascade's going to cast detect thoughts. She doesn't have to see it, but let's see. Let me make sure you can. It's like something within a range. Where is it? When you cast a spell as your action during the duration, you can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spell can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal other than lead, and a thin sheet of lead blocks me.
What languages do you speak?
Only common and primordial. Well, no, time out. Actually, I need to talk to you about another one, but
Sure.
we haven't done that, so
Okay.
common and primordial.
You get the sense that beyond your companions, there are 2 conscious entities around here. And there are no thoughts that present themselves. There is no conscious speech of any kind. You do, however, pick up surface level emotions. You pick up on both of them fear. On one of them, you pick up a sense of accomplishment. And on the other, you pick up a sense of anxiousness.
She's going to yell out, there are two. One is feeling rather proud of themselves. And then, I mean, I think that's all I can do. No, bonus action, she's going to manifest the mind from her spellbook. And she's going to do that, like outside the door, so the book is like outside, so she can kind of send it up. Does there look like there's like an attic or a second floor to this structure?
Mm-hmm. It's a one floor structure.
Okay. Yep. So she's
just
going
outside
to.
the door.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Remind me, is your book incorporeal?
It can pass through beings. It cannot pass through like walls.
Gotcha. So as the book appears right outside the door, you see in an incredibly fast motion. Actually, make a perception check for me.
That's not great. A 10.
Something that looked like a whip came down and tried to hit the book from the roof.
She will call out. It's on the roof.
I feel like that brings
That's
us
my turn.
to Varys, yeah? Varys, you are incapacitated.
Yes, I will move from the doorway into the corner of the room.
Okay.
And make my saving throw.
Okay. Intelligence saving throw again, please.
Is 15 enough?
15 is just enough. Meets it, beats it.
Yes.
You have full capacity of your range of actions and reactions now on your next turn.
Right. Shake it off.
Yeah. Brings us back to the top of the turn order to Fettle.
Okay. From what I understand, this house is kind of built into the hill, correct?
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly. How much movement would it take for me to go outside the home and slightly up the hill so that I could see what is on the roof?
I mean, it would take... I mean, it's a small house. And you were near the front door. We'll say half your movement.
Okay. I will do that. Considering my height, what am I able to see, like, at this point, using half my movement?
So, going out the door and turning back around to look with your height. If anyone else had looked, it would have been very difficult to see. You, however, can see that there are two creatures, seemingly, like, splayed out flat on the roof. Both of them in a very shabby cloak that's pulled up over their heads. Make a quick perception roll for me.
Sure. 16.
16 is enough. You can vaguely see out of the one that's closest, like right at the top of the door. You can vaguely see what appears to be slightly writhing, if you had to guess, tentacles of some kind.
Okay. Gross. I'm just gonna do a quick sacred flame directly at this thing. Just in retaliation of a gross weird being with tentacly hands. That is... Yes.
Okay. That brings us to Delg.
Oh, a cantrip doesn't work? Okay, that's tight.
Sorry. I'm sorry. What was a cantrip? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's
I was
fine.
focused on three things at the same time. I'm so sorry.
You're totally fine. Yeah, Sacred Flame, Dex saving throw for them.
Oh yeah, dex saving throw. Is it both of them or just one?
Just one. The
Front
closest
back
one.
Closest one?
Front one, yeah.
I'm assuming an 11 does not work.
No, it does not.
So what kind of damage do they do there?
16 radiant damage. It's pretty good.
Yeah. You all can hear a very familiar to Delg screech and cry of pain as Sacred Flame connects with its target.
Okay. Yep, that is my turn.
Cool. The one in front that you just struck, crawls its way over the edge of the roof and is facing down, turns its head up to you, and goes to reach out one hand at a time, its feet and knees still somehow connected to the wall, to swipe its claws at you one by one. First claw is 15 to hit. Fettle.
Wait. Oh, me. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Does not hit.
And the second claw is an 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
Wonderful. So as these two claws happen, you see it kind of reel back, and the hood falls back, and you see there's no face. It is just tentacles, some of which seem to have what look to be protruding teeth on them that are slightly opening, like a mouth that would be there. Completely above the table, it looks like an illithid.
Joy.
And one of its tentacles reaches out and tries to smack you.
Gross.
I dropped a dice. It's a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So as the tentacle connects with your body, finding its way through your armor, you take 10 points of piercing damage as the tentacle wraps itself around and pulls you in tight into a grapple.
Oh, okay. Super cool. My favorite.
Mistral can try to make her save again.
Yes, let's do it. Nope, not this time.
Okay.
But she'll move up 40 more feet to 100.
Okay. Has anyone moved outside of 30 feet of the house?
Mistral.
Mistral, that's good. As the tentacle wraps out and grabs Fettle, you all feel another as another one of these pulses goes out. I need everyone to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Question real quick.
God.
I was muted, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
it went before I did.
Oh yeah, sorry. Delg, I'm so sorry. You can go before this happens.
Okay, so...
My bad.
I feel like I would have seen Fettle come out and go on top.
Mhm.
I would be able to see what Fettle is attacking and see the things, or no?
You definitely see it going to attack Fettle, yeah.
Okay.
And Fettle pointing it out, yeah.
I would like to cast Wind Wall between Fettle and these creatures.
Okay.
Attempting... I meant to click this so it can go here. I believe it would. I'm hoping to push it off the roof is what I'm looking for when it appears. But I don't know how big they are.
It's humanoid sized.
So I don't think it actually says. They just take damage. Keeps fog, smoke, and other gases this way. Flying creatures can't pass through it.
Yeah. So if you're casting this between them, it would have happened on your turn before its. It negates everything that happened to Fettle, damage-wise, and grapple.
Shit.
I'm sorry. I thought it went before me, but then you went to Mistral.
No. Yeah, that's fine.
So
yeah, it's easy to reset. So negate the damage. You're not grappled. And then you are not casting it on this thing, correct? You're just casting it between. The point of it was I'm hoping to try to push them off the roof if possible, but between them if I don't think I could do that. Yeah, I think
because it's a wind wall that's going to go straight up. So
yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It seems like from the verbiage of the spell, it just appears.
Yeah.
Not that it like has motion that would push something. To me.
Right.
So
yeah,
I think you would know that it's just cast.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it like on them, so it's gonna hurt them to make it either have to pass through the Fettle or back away.
Okay.
So they need to make a strength saving throw.
So that's why I asked if you were casting it on them. It's within its area, and the area you designated is only one foot thick.
1 foot thick.
So if it would be between them, which means they're not.
It'll be between them.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
It'll be
why.
between them.
Okay.
Yep.
But I mean, they're blocked. It's 50 feet long.
Right. And then with that, I'd walk towards. I'd get as close to the retreat point that they can make, and just wait.
Okay. The same pulse would have happened. And we'll say, actually, let me just do this real fast. Oh yeah, I just rolled an intelligence check to see if he would recognize the wall. He rolled a 1. So he still tried to attack and absolutely failed and was very upset. We still get through Mistral to the second one who did cast the same thing, the disrupt psyche. So intelligence saving throw if you haven't rolled one yet.
All right. Intelligence saving throw again.
19.
Do I still get mine at advantage because I have the necklace?
Did you take it off of Kasimir?
Yes, I would have kept it with me knowing that it.
I'll allow it, but you didn't say that.
I'm sorry. We can leave it there.
No, it's fine. I'll allow it. I know you wanted it.
23.
7.
13.
13 as well.
Bree, Delg, and Fettle are now incapacitated as their psyche has been disrupted.
Are there levels to this at all, or?
Nope.
Okay.
It was more, they were making sure that everybody got touched. Yeah. Anyway, Bree, it does bring us to your turn. You are incapacitated. You cannot take actions or reactions. You can move or talk, though. And at the end of your turn, you can make another save.
I mean, if I can't do anything, I can't do anything, so I'm just gonna have to make another save.
Oh, shit.
Where was all that before? Not 20 for 26.
Yes. And with that, I would allow you, because you are close to Fettle, correct? You're both inside still. Yeah? Or Fettle, you're outside now.
I'm
So
outside.
who are you close to? You're close to Cascade. And everyone else is outside. So it's Bree and Cascade inside. The other 3 of you are outside.
No, I'm still inside too.
You're
but-
still inside?
Yeah.
And you are not.
I'm not incapacitated. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna give you could unincapacitate someone by like slapping them out of it, but nobody that you can reach right now can have that happen to them.
Yep.
Hey, Cascade.
How close are these things? They're both on the roof still, yeah?
Are you still concentrating on detect thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. She would have just done that to kind of get an idea of where they're at. I'm gonna bonus action. The book is going to just lift up to be level to the roof as Cascade is flipping through her book, and I am going to cast lightning bolt from the book directly at them.
Okay.
I'm going to need dexterity saving throws from both of them.
For the one in front, that is not good. That's a 10. And the one in back, ooh, that's even worse. That's a 6.
They're gonna take 13 lightning damage, or 36. Sorry, why did I say 13? 36 lightning damage.
You just decided to divide it by 3, like randomly.
I was just, my numbers are hard right now. 36 lightning damage from the book.
Those of you who are can see the people on top, so Fettle and Delg pretty much at this point, I think. Actually, Delg, I think you're probably too short to see this. Sorry.
Oh, buddy.
The one that is like right in front of the wind wall looks bloodied already. Can't quite tell the other one, either of you. Brings us to Varys inside.
Okay, I did hear someone say they're on the roof. Cascade said. So I will go outside.
I have a question for you real fast.
Yeah.
Are you currently larger than a small or?
No, I mean yes, I'm larger than small.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm medium.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, cool. So you're going outside?
I'm going outside, and the same thing that Fettle, was talking about. Just go run up the hill, just so I can see, and get line of sight to the roof, and so what's the layout up there? So there's a wall of wind. I got that. There's two creatures on one side of it.
So it's wall of wind, and then the house is like this, and then there's a creature on the edge by the wall of wind, and one in the back. And the back of the house is like right up against the hill. Like probably like the back 4 to 5 feet of it are like in the hill.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just send an Eldritch Blast to the one on the right.
Okay.
Of my vantage point. It's nat 20 for a 34 to hit.
Holy
on the first beam.
34.
The second beam.
Wait, so your spellcasting modifier is plus 14.
That's my spell attack bonus.
Oh, okay.
Not my spellcasting modifier. That's the attack bonus is modifier plus proficiency plus.
It's that book, man.
All right, then a 21 to hit for the second beam.
Yeah, they both
and
hit.
A 30 to hit for the third beam.
That one hits like twice over.
Okay. So then it's 3d10 plus 21. Where are my d10s?
Are these all on the same person, by the way? I can't remember.
Yes, they are. All right, so we got a 4 and a 9 is 13.
One of them's a crit, so remember
the
that.
The 0 is a 10, right? On the d10?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it goes 1 through 9 and then 0. So, okay. So, yeah, one of them's a crit, so I'll just roll it again. It's another 10. Sweet. All right. So 20 plus 9 is 29, plus 4 is 33, plus 21 is 54 points of damage.
What the fuck?
Front or back?
Front.
Fettle toe-to-toe with this thing. Its tentacles, like, trying to reach out, and the wind just kind of, like throwing it out of the way so it can't quite get through. You watch the tentacles just fall limp as the thuds of 3 Eldritch Blasts hit the back of it.
Holy shit.
Anything else
Holy.
for your turn, Varys?
No, I think that was enough for that turn.
Okay. This brings us back around to the top. Fettle, you are up and I believe incapacitated currently.
Correct. I can't really do much. Save for just try and make that save again. So I'm gonna try and do that. 19.
That saves. You are no longer incapacitated.
Sick. All right.
I am not going to forget this time. Hey, Delg,
Yes.
it's your go.
Oh, cool.
There's one left on the roof. You know he's there, but you can barely make out where he is because he's a little bit too far back.
And so he's on the roof. How tall's the roof?
Between 10 and 15 feet, tall enough that the wall is probably going to affect his jump if he jumps toward you.
I'm incapacitated, so I can't do reactions or actions, correct?
Correct.
Not a problem. I will cast. Where is it at? I will cast Grasping Vine
Which
and
is a
yank that
bonus
guy
action.
down onto the ground.
Dexterity saving throw from him.
Yes, I'll put it on. Just
I don't have the patience to look up a ruling as to whether or not a bonus action counts for this, since it says actions.
counts for what?
Like, as in, it meant bonus actions as well. I don't have the patience for it, so it's going to work. He did not succeed.
So he's getting yeeted to the ground, like
Okay.
right next to me, I'm guessing.
Yeah, through the wind wall, right to you, in front of you, you are now face to face with the gaping maw of an illithid face.
Ah, the gaping maw.
And I will end my turn.
Please make an intelligence saving throw.
18.
You are no longer incapacitated now that you are face to face with this creepy ass thing. That brings us to this. Cascade, can you please make a wisdom saving throw? No.
As a 13, bud.
Those who can see you, Cascade, what do they see?
Cascade's flipping through the pages of her book, like getting prepared to like cast another spell, and you'll feel like see the familiar kind of glow of the pages as she's like clearly concentrating and getting ready, focusing outside the door, and then suddenly she will look up. Her eyes will be incredibly wide, and the glow will just stop. And you'll see like her eyes will, like her hair kind of always feels like it's moving around, and she's always got kind of like a dewiness to her. But if you're like actually looking at her, you'll see her eyes will immediately like fill up with tears, and she just seems like completely like something has come out of nowhere and punched her right in the gut.
You were also incapacitated, is that correct?
I wasn't from the
From the
stage.
last
No,
one,
I got a
okay,
23.
good.
Mhm.
Cool. That brings us to Mistral's turn, if you'd like her to make the save again.
Yes,
just gonna
yes,
keep her up
yes. Yeah.
Is there a bonus if she is not incapacitated?
No.
Then we can just skip her and say that she effectively is capacitated.
Yeah, the thing that she does for me is not an action or a reaction.
just
so
based on her side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That brings us to its turn. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna try to reach out and touch someone there, Delg. How do you feel about that?
You know,
I've been waiting to hear.
no thanks.
Does a 20 hit?
No thanks.
That's what I've been waiting to hear. Thank you. Does a 17 hit?
I just grin at it.
Okay. Yeah, and that's lower than that one for the tentacle swipe. So it takes 2 swipes at you, trying to wrap its tentacle around and get some of its barbs into your skin. But yeah, man, you're dug. You're dug.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Yeah, exactly. After that person's turn, that brings us to Bree.
Bree is finally gonna get outside. I don't suppose that she can get outside and like up and assess to where everything is.
It's right in front of the door. I pulled it down.
Oh, you pulled it down.
We're
Okay.
right in front of the door, like maybe 5-10 feet away
You
from
are
the door.
currently flanking it.
Yeah,
Was
you're
the
gonna walk
door-
out. It's staring at me.
Was the door open, or when I flung the door out, can I do some like bludgeoning damage with like?
It's looking at me, Ray. I think it can hear you.
I feel like the door, if it wasn't blown in one direction or the other, it is now that the wall is kind of blowing there.
Yeah, just creating all of the situations in my head. But yeah, if it's right up there and I can see it and I'm walking right up to it, let's take a couple swipes at it.
Yep. I believe, does it knock it prone and pull it towards you, or just pull it towards you? It just pulls it, right?
It just pulled it towards me.
Yeah, okay,
But
so
it
it's
will
not-
be at advantage because you're
Because you're flanking it.
flanking it.
Flanking with you. All right. So 20.
20 hits.
We'll do 13.
Surprise,
13
motherfucker.
Misses.
No, sorry, that's 13 damage for that
13
first
damage.
attack.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, yeah, that's 13 damage for that one, and then for the second, 21.
21 hits.
Seven.
7 damage. It's looking bloodied. Anything else?
You know, now that you mention it, no, I'm gonna hold on to that. So yeah, no, it should be good.
Okay. That brings us to Cascade. Cascade, you are stunned. Would you like to respond?
Yeah. And I will do that.
Yep.
What everyone else would hear is like it's like that, like as she's like trying to kind of like shake herself. Tears would be falling from her like face. She's still like staring, like trying to like catch her breath from this. But I will respond.
Sure. You can make the save again as well.
What is it again? Wisdom?
Mm-hmm. Is it wisdom? Yeah, wisdom.
I don't know. To say from stunned. 15.
Not enough.
Okay.
Ferris, you're up.
Varys is up. So I see this this vine reach out and touch someone, as I've seen many times in the past. So I pivot and fire. So we got a 23, a 21, and a 29 to hit.
Yeah, they all hit.
Hi, my name is Jeff.
Hi, my name is Jeff.
All right, 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 21 is 38 points of force damage to that one.
Okay. Is it 48?
38.
38? It is looking incredibly fucked up.
You should be able to handle it now, Delg.
Fettle?
It's my turn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like literally writing down nearly everything that we're doing. Okay. Okay. Can I see this fucking creepy thing?
It is between Bree and Delg in the doorway.
Okay. Okay. Fun. Yeah, I would like to get into like a diagonal position to be able to actually hit it.
I mean, you can share space with an ally, so you could move in for a flank and then
Okay.
move out.
I think I might do that then. Let's see. Just trying to figure out which one of these weird smite things I want to do. Yeah. Bonus action, I'm going to cast Branding Smite on my greatsword. And then go to smack a bitch.
Okay.
And you said I have flank, right?
Mm-hmm. So at
Tight.
advantage.
That's a nat 20 for a 31.
Yeah, 31 hits.
Nice.
Okay, so here's the damage on that. 21 slashing damage with an additional 11 radiant damage, and for funsies, just because I have it activated here, we've got an additional 6 radiant damage because of the Branding Smite.
Would you like to describe how you absolutely eviscerate this thing? Varys has just said, Delg, I think you can handle it now.
He'll recognize that this thing is like on death's door and just kind of like awkwardly scoot in, very much a same kind of trait that you would have seen in Hope, just like excuse me, sorry, really just 1 second here, and he would like raise his greatsword up into the air to cast the Branding Smite on it, and it would gleam bright like yellow radiant light. He would just do one swipe and then immediately get out of the way, knowing that it would do enough damage to kill it, just to like not be in the same space as an ally.
With both of the illithid creatures lying dead on the ground in front of the home, you are out of initiative.
I would rush back inside. I'd like push myself past Bree, knowing that Cascade wasn't out there and hearing her scream. I'd get back inside and check on Cascade.
Cascade has dropped. Her book is like spilled out of her hands, is on the floor next to her. She's dropped to her knees, just staring into space in front of her, and looks physically angry. Like her face is twisted in a way that she is like physically showing emotion, and she is silently crying.
So I would go up to Cascade. I would reach down, grab the book, and get eye to eye and see that she's crying, and instantly cast Create Water to make it rain. And then try to get her attention.
With the rain falling, like she'll just be kind of staring, and like the rain starting to fall on her, like eventually kind of flinch at it, and will turn and look at Delg, and as she does, the face will go from anger to just fear and sadness, and without saying anything out loud, she'll mouth words to Delg. I'll send them to you, dude.
Observant feet. You don't have to say anything.
Correct. Correct, I do not.
As Cascade snaps out of her stunned state and combat has finished, before the party sets on the road, I believe toward the Amber Temple is currently the goal, yeah?
So?
Yes.
Welcome back. We have just finished up an encounter outside of Kasimir's hut. Kasimir's body now lies on the ground. somewhere in front of the hut. It is raining around Delgan Cascade as...
I picture some of it going out the door. It's raining. It's supposed to be a 30-foot cube, but it's just all in this house.
So the house
so you can
is
kind of
very wet.
You can see a little bit of raindrops coming out the front door.
Everyone else, you see weather doing literally the exact opposite from what it is ever supposed to do.
Bright sunshiny day.
What would you like to do?
I'll take the ring that I got the magic ping off of Kasimir's finger.
Okay. It will take time for you to identify it properly, but it is a ring of warmth.
Okay.
I will reach my hand out and help Cascade up, and as she gets up, hand her book back.
Cascade will... she's kind of in a daze, and she'll allow you to help her up. And as you hand the book, she'll kind of just take it and stare at it for a second, and then grip the edges really tightly, before putting it back kind of like in a sling, and will kind of senselessly wipe at her face with the palms of her hands, and mouth something to you, before turning back and going back into the room where she was before, and she is going to actually take that book back off the shelf there, GM.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Fettel is gonna see the general vibe of everyone in the cottage, just like peeking his head through the doorway. Sees that it's a little off, puts a pin in it, and then gets back to going to where Kasimir's body was, picking it up, and finding a nice place to bury him.
So this is an important question now that you've mentioned that. So you set out in the morning and came here and had a decent conversation with the man inside. It is quickly approaching noon. How long are you willing to spend of your daytime burying his body?
I guess it depends on how quickly you'd think Fettel would be able to dig a hole.
If I might suggest something, while I'm not familiar with particular Dusk Elf tradition, there are a lot of elven races like my own that prefer to burn the bodies instead of burying them. They consider them just a husk and of no worth once dead.
I see.
As we are in a rush, it might be quicker.
Okay.
So, out of character and above the table, I remember that we have had this exact question before, and I was reminded of that when I saw that I'd already clicked on the link when I Googled it. It would take an experienced grave digger in optimum soil an average of 6 hours by hand to dig a proper grave.
Sick.
It'll take me 6 seconds.
In soil?
Yeah, it's ground.
That's fair.
It's not going to all be soil. I can make a hole in the ground. But we can also burn it.
I think Fettel would still take maybe 10 minutes to try and scoop just a little bit of like the topsoil out of the way in the general configuration of a body on the ground, just to get any sort of vegetation away from it. And then go through with the burning of the body in any way that seems fitting.
I'm not gonna Google this one because
I come out because
I mean,
Hope
Don't want
and
to be
Delga-
flagged by FBI.
You could build a pyre and
Hope and Delga have
incinerate a
done
body
this
in
already.
winter. Got to be about an hour, you know.
Well,
Well, yeah.
The thing is, real fast. The thing is, the amount of materials you'd need to build a proper pyre that would not only stay lit long enough, but get hot enough to actually burn a corpse
1 second.
would take you time.
No
Catchy
time.
doesn't care. He's gonna Google it.
Oh yeah.
No, not gonna Google it. I can just put them on a spot, plant growth it up into a proper pyre.
I'm just
I'll
saying
be
you guys have
plenty
to be
of-
a little creative about it if you want to do it as quickly as you're talking about. That's all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have no problem wasting. Well, it's not wasting. Using a spell to create one to help out.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say collectively figuring out how you're gonna do it, casting the spells, getting things set, maybe saying a word or two, probably half an hour, 45 minutes max. Sound reasonable?
Definitely.
So we'll say that the burial takes you to noon. If there's any sort of RP you'd like to have around that, you're more than welcome. Or separate from that while it's happening, before you guys set out.
So semi on character to making a burial from Delk, because Delk has done this throughout the time we've spent together, a decent amount. He actually seems slightly hurried, still being respectful and everything, but you can definitely sense a means of wanting to get it done and get going.
You would notice the same sort of hurriedness from Fettel as well, based on his experience and similar burial tactics that they'd used with Eldath. Based on his upbringing, he would also have been in the mindset of, I'm going to be as respectful as possible, but we got to get a move on.
If no one else- Oh, go ahead.
Agree.
Yeah, no, Cascade would have gone like outside. She would have stepped outside of the house and would be kind of standing there, kind of observing, and would have offered to help light the pyre. But as it's being just in like a kind of like wave of her hand, kind of wave, like as we were discussing, like how are we gonna light it? Just kind of raise her hand. But it's just zoned out, watching the process of like getting it ready.
The more religious among you, those of you who have been to more of ceremonies like this, whether it's burial or funeral pyre, I'd say can't help but notice that there's something missing. There's not quite the sense of reverence that you're used to at situations and events like this. It probably wouldn't take you very long to put together that, I mean, you watched his soul being collected. You are quite literally just burning a vessel at this point. And there's no kind of like visceral feeling that comes from it unless it's a personal connection, if you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's habit for Delk, though.
Yeah, same for Fettel.
So, it takes a long time to burn a body. I am assuming, since you want to get on the road, you are going to leave the pyre and set out. So,
This probably would have been set up as far away from like vegetation as possible. Because if I remember the camp correctly, it's like there was the hill, there was a fair amount of like open space, and then the forest around it. So it would be like middle between the cottage and the forest.
yeah, and I mean, Barovia itself is a bit of a moist plain, just with the constant overcast and rain and everything else. So, there's no way that the grass would set fire all the way to the tree line, so you'd be fine. Yeah, so setting out on the road to the Amber Temple, we recently started using the system Campfire for our travel. And we're going to use that now. We're going to add on the system that Ash introduced in Against the Tides in our last session, where each of the players will kind of set up a scene for the next player in order to resolve. So, for instance, Varys is going to establish a challenge for Bree's character to solve along travel. The only requirement is that it needs to have a check at some point. This will be one of your checks for the travel. This particular journey is in 2 stages. If you recall, the journey up the mountain to the Amber Temple becomes incredibly challenging and difficult about halfway up. So the first leg of the journey is a short journey, meaning you need to reach 3 successes or 3 failures first. Whichever one you reach first determines whether you get a buff or a debuff, a boon or a hardship. The second stage of the journey is considerably more difficult. I said this to some of you guys in the session, but for those who are watching and those who weren't here for it, the second leg of the journey is deadly, dangerous, and hunted, meaning the DC for all of those checks is 20. But for the first leg of the journey, the DC is only 14. So before we start out, as you all are getting up onto the wagon and setting out north back to the main road, you all notice that Delg, in a familiar fashion to what you have seen several times before, has Wayfinder in his hand. And it points... At first, you might think it was pointing to the Amber Temple. But it's actually pointing maybe 10 degrees, maybe 15 degrees west of where the Amber Temple is.
I pull Wayfinder away and I will hop in the back of the cart next to Cascade instead of in the front of the cart.
Cool. So, Chum.
Yes.
And also, just as a reminder, this Chum, since you did this with Tides, you're kind of
Yes.
setting the example for Akechi and Joe.
Oh, great.
On how to do this. So just
No
no pressure. You're probably gonna have to go around multiple times. Oh, and I made a new thing for this. Chat, you don't get to see it though. Sorry.
You think? Ooh. Oh, that's fun.
I had time today. I was bored.
Nice.
Bless your heart.
Very nice.
It's just a track to
Okay.
show how many successes they've gotten. That's all.
I love it.
So, traveling down the road, we see a figure walking along the side of the road towards us. As you approach, well, from a decent distance, I mean, because the sun is out, right? I mean, it's not
I mean, it's
cloudy in Barovia
sun.
anymore. It's still
It's like
it's bright.
like sporadic. Like the sun occasionally peeks through because it is breaking down.
But it's
Okay.
like, what, 2-3, right?
in that.
Just the beginning, it's
in-
noonish.
With that being said, when the sun peeks through, you kind of catch a reflection off of this figure. He's just trudging along, and we're getting closer.
So for context, Bree, Chum is basically the DM for this scene.
Does it look like? Sorry, is the figure coming towards us, like we're going down the road and it's coming towards us, or it's also walking the same way that we are, and we're just gaining on it?
So
We're in horses and carts and stuff.
At first, when we first catch sight of it, you wouldn't be able to tell, but as we get closer, we would notice that he is walking towards us.
Okay. Can I tell any general intent? Obviously, like the things that have come at us before have been aggressive in their intentions of what they would like to do to us, i.e. murder us. But is it easy enough to tell that this is just a wayward wanderer?
So I wouldn't say that it is like it's not charging us or anything. It just appears to be walking down the road. But as you get closer, you can tell that it's a humanoid figure, and those reflections are the armor it's wearing. Kind of full plate armor, like a knight or something like that.
Is this figure familiar to anyone? Should we be concerned?
Varys kind of look up and look back at Delg and say, "It can't be, can it?"
Doug will kind of smile a little bit. Well, maybe he'll be happy to hear the news. And then kind of look back down at the ground, not paying attention of the figure anymore.
It's possible we have encountered this being before. It didn't try to harm us the first time, but it certainly looked capable enough.
I will remain on guard.
I can definitely come in now. As the cart approaches closer to this figure, you can tell as the distance closes, you can see that it's not quite like walking or marching. It's more like almost shambling along, like dragging its feet just a little bit. As the cart approaches and gets close enough to see, you can see what appears to be a darker sheen to the armor. Not quite black, more like gunmetal gray. That once was probably shinier than it is, but definitely has some dings and dust on it now. It doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you all, but it's walking down the center of the road in front of you. You would have to go off the road in order to avoid it. You're seeing your call, Bree. What would you like to do?
I mean, we're making a lot of noise, right? Like, we're coming down with a horse and stuff. Like, and I would think even at like a small gallop, you can hear something approaching.
Yeah, I mean, you're not stealthy by any means right now, and this thing is close enough. Like, you've allowed it to get close enough. It knows you're there.
And it's not moving.
It's still walking towards you.
But it's not moving out of the way.
No. It does not seem to be paying much attention to you. It is traveling along the road in the direction of Valaki. And as the distance closes half again, you see that even though it's shambling, it kind of looks like it's walking with purpose.
Will you allow us to pass?
As you call out to it, it takes one more step after hearing what you have to say and stops and looks up. And for the first time glaring into its helm, you can see kind of set back, almost glowing eyes that are just catching like a glint from the sun as it peeks through the clouds. But the rest of his face appears to be, well, for lack of a better term, dead and rotting. It has stopped, though, and is looking at you.
You will allow us to pass.
In a gravelly voice that is almost as if the time and decay has worn holes in his vocal cords. Do you know where Strahd has run to?
His remains are towards the city gates.
He is dead?
Affirmative.
I don't believe you. Are you protecting him?
Elg will pull out the vial of Strahd's blood and tap on Bree's shoulder and hand it to Bree.
I am uncertain what this is for.
He asked if we were sure. That's his blood from the corpse. It's proof.
It may not be fully convincing. Anyone can bleed and collect the blood and still remain alive.
Not if you're going against Strahd.
Gotta agree with Delg. I don't think Strahd would part with his blood without grave consequence.
There's a slight, like, jerk in the armor, like in the shoulders. As if whatever this thing is, might have been like a vestige of a chuckle at your joke. Take me to where his body lie. I must see his corpse myself.
We are unable to return to that direction. We have other matters to attend to.
So you
But I assure
protect him,
you-
and he pulls his sword out.
We do not protect him. He is no more. But his remains. There's nothing there to protect.
So your check seems like it would be a persuasion check then. I will give you advantage
And-
because of the blood.
I would say, and I could stand up with the shield with Argynvost symbol on it as well for advantage.
I'll set the DC lower with the Argynvost shield.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
18.
Point me in the direction of his body. I must see his death so that I can rest.
If you follow the road to Barovia, the village, and just beyond, you will find it there.
He takes several shambling steps forward as he sheathes his sword and comes face to face with your horses, seemingly waiting for them to move out of the way.
Shall we go around?
It seems as though we have little to no choice.
Yes.
As luck would have it, this particular patch of road has a nice little roadside berm that you can just...
Rest area?
Yeah, you can just go around him. So, successful
Shoulder.
check. First of 3, which brings us to Joe. You get to give something to Delg. And I'm going to go back into retirement now that now that I no longer have to RP friend buddy.
Oh, it's not over.
God bless, friend buddy.
The friend buddy.
I miss him
Friend buddy.
already.
Friend
Yeah.
buddy forever.
The rap on friend buddy.
I mean, when he gets there, he's gonna collapse and have nothing to do. So yeah, it really is.
Man, won't he just like be done because this mission's over?
Yeah, he hasn't. He's a revenant. He's no longer this.
He'll just shrug his shoulders.
Turn into dust.
See, we did a good thing. We released him.
It can be simple too. It can just be like setting something up, and then Del can run with it.
Yeah, and that's
I
part
got
of the
short
problem
legs,
is
so please not far.
I'm pulling up blanks because
It can be like an RP encounter, a obstacle, an enemy, the concept of existence.
I mean, Rock, you were
Alec,
with
why
us the
are we
first time
here?
in Barovia. I mean,
Why
it's,
do we feel? Why do we love?
The check
What
the
is
check
love?
is Delg has to teach Bree what it means to love.
I kind of love that
Teach
though.
me to be more human.
I am afraid I can't do that, Delg.
Just leverage your first time through Barovia. Think
Listen,
about all the things we encountered, and
yeah, I am doing that, but like I maybe I'm overthinking it because this isn't it. Everything's collapsing around us. So like
We can do whatever we want. The GM's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
even here, bud.
Listen,
Like, what's the
don't-
first obstacle that comes to your mind in traversing the lands of Barovia?
Don't wish to feel more human because I have a wish sword.
yeah,
Make you a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real Bree.
I'm a real Bree.
I got that cascade.
Jim's not here.
Always here.
It's not like he does much when I'm around because he just can't
Can't
I
handle
can't.
the Delg.
handle. Just fuck, throw your hands in the air and call it good.
If we keep it simple, we're literally the only thing I can think of at this point is there is a rough patch in the road. Whether it was through nefarious means or just natural causes, like the road, a patch of road that we're coming up to has gotten torn up. If you live in a city during like the winter time, like a month after winter, after all the roads expanded and the potholes come up and everything, this is very, very rough terrain for us to traverse through.
Delg, how you getting through the rough terrain?
Knowing where we're going, Delg would ask whoever's up front driving to hold up for a second.
whoa.
There we go.
All right.
And then as he stands up, he'll look at Bree and put his hand out for the vial of Strahd's blood again to make sure he gets that back. And looks around and takes a look at the wheels of the cart and walks off to the side of the road. And I will cast Stone Shape 4 times, creating 4 different wheels to fit the cart that's got some type of spiky treads in it to help us traverse the rest of the way and get up the mountain.
Off-road tires. Let's go.
Did you just winterize your freaking cart?
I just winterized our cart.
Just pulled over to the side of the road, popped some chains on it.
Knobby off-road tires. Yeah, chains.
But also seeing that with having that getting off planning and trying to plan ahead and seeing the rough road, reducing the weight in the cart as well as we're moving forward, hopefully to help.
How are you
With
reducing the weight?
Yeah,
I got
Cascade,
out.
get out.
I'm 250 pounds. That's a good amount of weight.
Fair. Okay. So what check are you making an argument for?
I'm gonna like lead the horses instead of ride, and try to lead them to a smoother path. So maybe like a nature check to find a bed of stone to create the wheels and lead the horses around.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure that you don't want me to argue for a survival check, which makes more sense, but
Oh, I could do that too. I don't care.
Or animal handling. I mean,
Animal
just
handling
leading
would
the
work, too.
horses. Yeah.
Yeah. What one do you want? Survival?
it's your scene, Delg.
They're all wisdom, so
I think you're right with the survival, because that mixes with most of them.
oh.
I got a 1, a nat 1.
For a
Do
total
you
of
wanna
6.
use? Do you want to
Yeah.
use? You want to use your reroll?
I can't. I use it for.
He used it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Swears.
Beans. Swears.
I mean, hey, there are 2 players that have rerolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give my inspiration to Delg, since he was very creative in his tire and wheel augmentation.
I can re-roll that again.
Yeah. Mark your inspiration off, Jim.
I did.
Thank you.
There
So
you
much
go,
better.
buddy. There you
Shit.
go.
Varys was driving, so he helped find the path as well.
No, not that way, Delg. This over here, this way.
I was
Not my
looking for
left,
stone.
your left.
Yeah, I was looking for stone. I need these wheels.
Yeah, I feel like there's at least one moment with a nat 1 and then a 24 that, like, Delg led the horses in one direction and Varys was just like, no, we're going to go this way. And, like,
Pulling the
did the exact
reins the
opposite.
other way.
Okay, hey, that's 2 successes. If you get 3 successes if you get a success on this next one, then it is a boon for your first leg of the journey.
Ooh. A Barovia boon. What would it be?
So
What good could possibly come of this?
A swarm of bats, but they're all dancing to techno.
Yeah.
constantly cast light on different bats' wings, so it's just there and does a strobe effect.
Oh god, I want to.
Hell
If
yeah.
I was you, I would totally make you stand. Like, if I was Delg right now, I would make Cascade stand up, and Delg's teaching you how to sword dance in the cart.
Oh my
No, I
god.
Right. But we got to cover something first, because when we were in the house, she said something to me.
Mm-hmm.
So after Varys helps me lead the horses past the rough terrain, I'd get back in the back of the cart, and I'd sit across from Cascade, and I pull out the book that I accidentally took. I totally didn't mean to take it. Like, I wanted it, but I forgot that I legit had it. But the spell book. And I would hand it out to Cascade to get her attention. And when she went to go grab it, I would hang on to it so that I know she was looking at me, and I would mouth some words to her. And I didn't know
Are we going full spy conversation?
if you want to. I don't care.
I'm cool with it.
Like, full spy, everybody headsets off full spy, because they both have the observant feat, so they could just literally just lip read each other silently the whole time.
Right. Right. And that was the intent.
Do you want the cast to take their headsets off?
It's
Yes.
up to Cascade.
Yeah. All right. She said yes.
Give it.
Twice. No.
Okay.
God damn it!
And they don't have their headsets on.
Amazing.
I'm keeping mine on.
Yes. So as he hangs onto the book and looks at Cascade, he's gonna mouth the words, how do you know and who is torturing your mother?
I don't know. She spoke to me. I know it was her.
You do understand that we were told that telepathy, magical stuff, cannot be trusted, correct? Not to doubt, but in Barovia, you have to always triple check and understand, because anything's possible.
It was her.
If I'm correct, she's not here. I'm pretty sure the sword pointed to the southern waypoint out of Barovia. I asked it before we left.
They have her somewhere. She's not here. And there's nothing I can do
Yet,
until we leave this place.
and we will. But if we don't set things right here, it won't matter. Everything will be gone. I promise we will find her and we will help.
She told me not to look for her.
She didn't tell me not to look. And he will let go of the book and then sit back a little bit and look back down at the ground. And I would like Cascade's check to be super hard and to maintain her emotions, to not show everybody what she's truly feeling right now.
Okay.
I mean, is that wisdom?
I
A
don't know what that's...
performance, I feel like.
Performance, yeah.
No sword dancing this time around.
No sword dance. Yeah, make a performance check.
And I guess we're done talking because I'm looking down, so we're gonna have everybody with their headset back on.
That's a fucking nat 20, bro.
Nice. That's what I wanted.
I don't know what happened, but nat 20 is good.
Wow. Okay. So Cascade, would you like to describe what everyone sees? I think it's pretty clear that like the two of them are sharing a conspiratorial moment. Like, yes, you're lip reading, but
I mean,
there's only 5
I know
of
we're
you.
talking.
Yeah.
They just might not understand what we're saying fully.
Right. So like they know we're talking, so I'm curious what they would see with Cascade's with that check, that roll. Like, describe the result.
Cascade would kind of take the book and hold it in her lap. And then you would watch, like, she's been very absent-minded, not very present in the moment. But after this exchange, you would see her sit up a little straighter, kind of like less hunched, and she'd kind of take it like a deep breath. And the strange, like, kind of gloom or hesitancy or just kind of absent-minded nature that she's had will just disappear.
This sudden positivity or neutrality that is a positive swing brings you to halfway through your journey up the mountain toward the Amber Temple at the peaks. It is about this point in the journey where the weather has turned from fall or spring to winter. It is frigidly cold. Those of you who had been up here before know that it is dangerously cold, and I'm assuming you would all have packed the winter clothes that were in the Blue Water Inn.
Yes, we talked about that.
To get dressed now in warmer clothes to withstand the elements up here. Candidly, I think this the beginning of the next leg of the journey will probably be right around Selenka Pass. So you're just starting to see the top archways of the green magical fire that that prevents access to the next leg of your journey as we come to the end of this leg. I would like so everyone got a chance to do something. I'm sorry, Ash, except for you. They were
Don't worry
all
about it.
super freaking good. So you get to roll the d20 on the windfall table. How about that?
Oh, fun. Okay.
So roll 1d20 for me, please.
Don't mess
Yes,
up.
roll good.
An 18.
18. Who has the highest strength ability score?
Like the number or the
number.
21.
Sounds like that's it.
Fettle, they handled everything on this journey. They had you prepared for the cold. They even had like clothing ready for you. And yeah, I mean, you feel rested and relaxed. You feel
Just chilling.
good to go. Mechanically, you are ready for combat. Your next landed hit is a guaranteed critical.
Oh.
Ooh.
So if you hit, it's double damage.
Excellent. What if she crits on that?
Honestly,
If she gets a nat 20 on her first hit?
I mean, mechanically, I would make that be like extra damage.
Excellent.
I'll say if you get a nat 20 on your next attack, we'll add like a perfect damage die to it. So you'll roll double the damage dice, and then we'll add one perfect. Like, you know the critical rule where it's like you do one perfect die and then you roll the second die.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you'll do that, but you'll roll another die.
Okay.
Okay.
Sick.
As you come to this area of the mountain pass, shortly before getting there, something strange happens. You've all experienced message and sending spells before, and you are familiar with the feeling of hearing someone else's voice in your head. However, this particular voice is unfamiliar. It has a soft, feminine quality to it that almost feels like warm velvet is like brushing your ears. Those that have a higher passive insight, anything higher than 17,
I have a 17.
That's funny.
you immediately sense that there is a hidden and well-practiced danger and lethality to her tone and timbre. Even more concerning, though, unbeknownst to the rest of the group, you are all hearing the same voice, saying the same thing at the same time. Sorry it took me so long to reach out. I was preoccupied with my dinner. Thankfully, I made sure I had leftovers. One at a time, in order of overlay. You may respond to that message. It is sending. You don't have to, but you may.
New phone? Who dis? No.
No. Crossroads Who Dat is the name of the session.
Yeah, that's right. Varys isn't going to respond.
Bree?
Were we expecting you?
You all hear that response in your heads. Not Bree's, but the response that this feminine voice gives. No, but I've been expecting you. Doug.
I don't recognize it at all, correct?
Mm-mm.
Um. Where are you expecting us? And do I need to bring my own food?
An extremely Delg response.
As before,
Do you have bacon?
you hear her response, but you do not hear what Delg had sent. I am patiently waiting in my tower to the south. And I don't think we eat the same thing. But I could be wrong. And if you'd like to, I could do that as well. Cascade.
I don't know who you are. If you hurt her, I will end you.
Very clever, girl. She told me you were smart. Fettle.
I don't know. Okay. I think he would just be genuinely confused. Unfamiliar with this land, like familiar with the journey that Hope and her friends had already taken, but just completely caught off guard. He would just ask, "Who are you?"
You all hear this again without hearing what Fettle said. The voice says, "A debt is owed. You've taken my servants. Now, I must take something of yours. Just remember, you caused this, not me. Warmest regards, Lissa." Varys, would you like to respond?
We'll see you soon.
There is no response back. Bree, would you like to respond? You're muted.
No.
Okay.
Bree doesn't respond.
Delg.
Putting it together, I think I would respond with, "I'll pay the price if you let her go."
There's no response. Cascade.
Cascade stands up in the cart and screams.
You all hear a light giggle that almost feels like a cat purring. Fettle.
Like searching my notes to try and remember who this person is.
Oh, that's right. You saw that TikTok, didn't you?
Probably. I don't know. Oh god. I think just in a reaction to Cascade screaming, he would just kind of crouch in the cart and pull out his greatsword.
With no response to Lissa, there is no response back. However, there is a very similar thing happening with Bree that you had seen before in Kasimir's hut.
Lissa von Zarevich, daughter of Anna von Zarevich and Todd von Zarevich, granddaughter to Strom von Zarevich, grandniece to Strahd and Sergei von Zarevich, renowned for her study and aptitude as both a necrologist and biomancer, known to have studied Strahd's interactions with Dark Power Vampire, and rumored to have made a similar arrangement. Poisoned by Strahd following an attempted coup of Barovia, and was rendered unable to wake for more than a few hours in the middle of each night. Currently resides in southern Barovia in the town of Zeidenberg. Known allies: Illithids of Lutspur, Azalin Rex, Shadar Kai, Shadow Elves, Angelo Morningstar.
And that's where we're going to end our session.
What the fuck? Well, that explains the mind flayers.
Yep. Jeebus Criminus.
Merry Chrysler!
Merry
God.
Chrysler indeed.
The freaking Von Zareviches are coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, holy shit.
So, this doesn't give away any backstory or whatever, but I did mention in the Twitter post that there was some, like, deep dives into Ravenloft. Strahd did have a middle brother. His name was Strom. He is the last Von Zarevich after everything that happened. And he had a granddaughter named Lissa. This is canon Ravenloft.
Amazing.
She hates Strahd and has been trying to take over Barovia for a very long time.
Fuck.
Hey, she can have it.
Here you go, bud.
Yeah.
Potential
All yours.
option for your end game. What'd
I
y'all
have
think?
feelings. Oh my god.
We're conducting interviews for the Lord of Barovia. What would you
makes you
say
think
are
you're
your
qualified?
best qualities are? What's one flaw that you think you have?
How long would the travel be?
Specifically, weakness in battle.
Travel where?
The travel we just did.
You're approaching nightfall. That was going to be part of the break, like between the travel, is
Right.
you can push on the second leg, but you will be exposed at night if you push on.
So the question I have, would it have been possible during the travel for me to study the amulet that I got from the Morning
sure.
Lord?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can take care of that between sessions, or we can take care of that.
Yep. Yeah, I was
offline or
just
whatever.
wondering
Yep.
if that was, or
100%.
if I had to wait.
No, it's fine. The travel is very loose with this system, so if you're not part of the scene, you can do other stuff. Surprise!
I ain't scared.
That's all I have to say about that.
Surprise.
Anyway.
We just gotta wait like 4 days, and then Aldeth will take care of it all.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, watch. Ready? You ready?
Oh, no.
Aldeth.
Oh god.
Aldeth, take the wheel. Damn.
Oh.
Had to get all these out of the way though.
Yeah. It's true, it's true.
Yeah, so, hey. That's a thing what had happened. Welcome back to Morningstar, y'all.
Welcome back,
Uh,
buddy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like I said, like I needed everyone for this session because the plan was always for something to be going on with Cascade's mother and for you guys to be reached out to before you went to the temple. Varys had to be here because the last session. I mean, come on. I needed Bree for the lore drops.
You didn't need me.
There's also another reason I needed Bree that is as yet unrevealed.
Secrets.
I feel like Fettel would not be away for a session, so. And we can't do anything without Doug.
Yeah, you can. You can probably get a lot more done without me.
No, I refuse.
Nah.
Your name's on the marquee. So.
Yeah, I guess.
It's literally right below your face on the screen right now.
Fair enough.
So yeah, anyway, hey, thanks for the raids, thanks for the support, everybody.